Hey guys, welcome back to Magic TV. My name's Craig. It is 9 o'clock on a Sunday, which means it's time for a review show special. This is where I take a deep dive into a particular subject, a particular creator, a particular product, and I kind of tell you everything that you need to know about whether it's any good or not. And this week, I'm going to be looking at The Queen's Nose by Mark Bennett. Now, excuse me, if you don't know who Mark Bennett is he's a gold star member of the Magic Circle, the inner Magic Circle, and rightfully so. And the reason he is because there's very few people that have done as much for Magic as this man has. He started off running pure Magic bars, giving loads of magicians jobs. That's up in Manchester. He then opened up Illusions Magic Bar in Bristol and another one in Manchester. Some of the best magicians that are currently performing in the UK right now got their start working for Mark Bennett. He now operates Smoke and Mirrors, which is the #1 magic theatre at stroke bar in the whole of the UK. Check out the reviews on TripAdvisor. They are absolutely amazing. It's where I shoot a lot of my projects for Murphy's Magic. It's where I go and perform. I've just been performing there last week. It's an incredible place, and I've had a chance to watch Mark perform close up and stage many times. Genuinely, there are very few people that are as funny as Mark is. He is an inspiration, and you know, as a comedy magician, as a stage comedy magician, one day I'd like to think that I could be as good as Mark. He is brilliant. However, this is a review, so it's a different thing, even though I consider Mark a friend, even though Mark's a great performer, and even though Mark pays me to go and perform at his venue, I'm going to be 100% honest about this product. It starts off with an interview. I sat down over Zoom with Mr. Bennett himself, and we talked about The Queen's Nose. This is Mark's brought out stuff in the past with Matthew Wright, sorry, had a mental blank there. Squid Cards, which I reviewed recently, was both sort of a Matthew and Mark release that they came up with together. But this is something that Mark's been doing for many years. So let's start off by playing the interview with Mark Bennett, where he talks about the Queen's Nose and exactly what it is, and then we're going to get into the review. So I am here with the living legend himself, Mr. Smoke and Mirrors, the one and only Mark Bennett. How you doing, Mark? You okay?
I'm very good. Thank you very much. Living legend. I like it.
Yeah, you are. And also, huge congratulations. Since the last time I spoke to you on the channel, you're now MIMC.
I am. Thank you very much. Yes.
Member of the Inner Magic Circle. That's a big deal. Like,
with gold star.
Very big deal. With gold star, no less. And you told me just off camera, and this is incredible, that you are the largest booker of magicians in the UK, right?
I believe so, yeah. I think so.
Well, I can't think of anybody else who would even come close.
Yeah, and it's a very diverse as well. I was trying to get everybody in as much as possible into Smoke and Mirrors to come and visit and have a little play.
It's incredible. It really is. And I said this on I don't want to make, obviously this is an interview about the Queen's Nose, but I said on the last interview we did, like the amount of people that are professional performers throughout the world that got their start or cut their chops in Smoke and Mirrors because of you, or Illusions, or one of the other bars that you've been involved with, is massive.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. There's quite a lot of magicians I see now, are a lot got somewhere else, and they've all done a little session at Smoke and Illusions or Smoke and Mirrors, and you kind of like to think to yourself like, oh yeah, I was part of their journey, which is great, and I hope they remember that part of their journey. That's the key thing for me, is they remember their journey they had with either Illusions or Smoke and Mirrors, and some of them are still here with me, so which is great.
I know, it's amazing, absolutely amazing. But outside of Smoke and Mirrors, you have really, I mean, you've always been very creative, and I've seen you perform on stage, and in my opinion, you're one of the, if not the funniest comedy magician in the UK right now. Like, I can watch your act over and over again, even though I know it line by line at this point. I laugh my ass off. Like, you're an so funny. But you've started making a name for yourself recently as a creator of magic, and I know you've got a whole bunch of stuff lined up over the next few months that we will maybe talk about. But the thing that's just come out recently, it came out just before the Jubilee, is The Queen's Nose, right?
That's right. There she is.
There it is. And I want to talk about this. Obviously, I'm going to do a review on it in a bit. It's only just come out before the Jubilee, but I want people to understand, having looked at it and knowing what it is and everything, it's not just something that you would do at the Jubilee. This is a trick that's will work all year round, which I want people to understand that distinction, because I saw a couple of people going, oh, yeah, it's only going to work at the Jubilee. It's not. This is something that you could do wherever, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, it is. It's one of those. I started this routine probably in the early 2000s, and it was just something I just wanted to. It all came weirdly. The Queen's Nose, the TV show. That's where it was.
Okay, yeah.
So it was a 90s TV show, kids TV show. Never read the book. I can't even really remember the TV show at all. All I remembered was they used to rub the nose of the Queen on a 50p piece, and a wish was granted. And I was just behind. I was either Pure Magic Bar or Illusions Magic Bar. I can't remember which one it was. Probably Pure Magic Bar first. And I just I went back to the flat in Manchester, and I just went, oh, I want to do something with this Queen's Nose thing. I don't know why. It might have been a conversation or whatever. And all I did is I took a sticker and I stuck it on the back of a 50p piece. That's all I did. And it was I think it was a King of Hearts or something like that. And then went back into the bar and just worked on a little routine throughout the night. And it came up with, in theory, the handling for the Queen's Nose, because it's really, really a powerful routine, because you get this, first of all, when you're handing out the card and they take any card that they wish, they look at it, you get it wrong, you put the Queen's Nose on top, you rub it, and then it turns over and it's now their card. And they're like, wow, that's amazing. And then you leave the card where it is, and then you put the 50p piece on, get somebody else to take a card, they rub the nose, and it's wrong. The card hasn't changed. And they're just like, the disappointment in their face of like, oh, I was what is miracle? So he brings them right back down, and then you say, no, on the back of the coin. And then they turn it over, and there's the card, and then there's this sense, and you get a bigger reaction than you get from the first one. And they just hold it. They go, how did that happen? How did that happen? How did that happen? And that's the power. It's a simple trick. It's really simple. Anybody can do it. If you can force a card, anybody can do it. And that was the premise for it. And then obviously I was speaking with Matthew Wright just before Blackpool, and he goes, tell me about this trick again. Tell me about this trick again. You can see Matt doing this. And we just turned around and we said, could we do a 50p piece? It was just like, if we want to go to prison, yeah. There you go. And then we just came up with the idea of doing an old English penny. So we were thinking, well, how can we get done for that? We were still worried. We were very, very worried when those coins. I was in Vegas at the time when they got delivered, and he goes, have they been delivered? I goes, my wife has said that they've arrived. And he goes, is it them though? Is there anything customs, like we need to speak to you about these coins and all this kind of stuff? We're really a little bit worried. But yeah, the coins came in, but it was just this, and obviously with the Jubilee coming up, with the invite, the tin, we just thought it might be a nice little thing for all those garden party magicians, that have these big gigs that are coming up. We thought that, why don't you have this? And then, this is a nice little pouch, you don't need it. This trick does move on. This could be your lucky penny. It doesn't have to do anything, even if you don't want to do anything with the Queen or whatever. It can be just it's your lucky penny, and you rub the nose of the Queen, or you rub the penny and the coin appears, or the card appears on the back. So
yeah, and I think it's what you say. It's such a simple trick. It's not difficult to do at all, but it allows you to focus on presentation.
Yeah, and it allows reaction. Yeah. You are going to get the reaction. You can't not get that reaction.
Well, I'm in a WhatsApp group. I've actually just brought this up in front of me because I need to tell you this. I'm in a WhatsApp group with a bunch of magicians, two of which are Nemid Phoenix, and I know it's the weirdest WhatsApp group in the world, but two of which are Nemid Phoenix and a guy called Alex Foden, who's a really good close-up magician, really good stage magician. And a couple of days ago, he posted in this WhatsApp group that I'm in, and he went, just bought myself the Queen's Nose by Mark Bennett. If you don't have it yet, get it. I tried it on Deanna. That's his girlfriend. Tried it on Deanna earlier, and she basically threw the coin at me and freaked out, which doesn't happen often because she's seen so much magic. And then he said, it's another one of those tricks that really is more than just the sum of its parts.
Yeah.
So that's like an actual real, and that's exact. That the reason I read that out is that kind of sums up my thoughts on it as well. I think that people could look at this and just go, oh, that's too simple. That's a simple trick. But there's so much more to it until you actually try this and you realize it is more powerful than you expect it to be. And as magicians, sometimes we're like, right, okay, I have to do Phoenix Ace production and this and this and this to feel like a magician. This is so simple, but it's the thing that everyone's going to be talking about when all of the complicated stuff has been forgotten.
We all know, you put the card here and you turn it like that, and that kind of thing. We all get a reaction from that. It's most people's opener for every single magician. And but what you can do is you can then repeat that same routine again from your opener and put the Queen's Nose in, and you're going to get a bigger reaction from that routine again of that same thing. So if you can do that routine, you can do the Queen's Nose. I know we did get a lot of people saying, oh, there should be more cards, there should be more cards, there should be more cards. And I was just like, well, yeah, yes, you're probably right, etc. When I was doing this in mine, it was when I was doing it behind the bar, it was a next audience, another audience, next audience. I wouldn't do Omni deck to every single person as I was going across, because you know what the ending's going to be. So you're gonna wait for that routine that you want to do it. And with the giveaways, if you want to give the coin away, we do giveaways, so you can leave them with the lucky penny, and you can leave it there for the top table, etc., for the wedding. So there you are, there's yours. Somebody did say, and I thought, God, why didn't we think about this when we did it? Somebody wrote that, well, the Queen of Hearts might be a bit of an English thing, but Princess Diana was our Queen of Hearts to a lot of English people. That's what we called her. She was the Queen of the Hearts. And I was just,
that's a clever idea.
I know I'll add that to the the spiel of the trick. But it's that was the premise. It was, we would like to do some more cards, but as you know, Craig's trying to create something that you've already made, and obviously to make these, you've got to make the mold, you've got to do this, and there's lots of extra costs. But so if there is demand and people say, well, I want 2 more cards that I can repeat this and I can do this all the way night long, and if we can get the demand in, we can probably say, yeah, if we can get that, I think we can probably add the extra cards to it. So, but yeah, it's a fantastic thing. I tell you what, filming the trailer was probably one of the hardest things that we did, because I just come back from Vegas, then I flew over to Matt's and to film the trailer, and 30,000 Scottish footballers were in Torremolinos going to go and watch Seville, and we were just kind of like going around the bars areas going, yeah, I don't really want to go up with the Queen on a coin and just, hi, this is the Queen. It's like, hey, not my Queen. So, but we found obviously a great couple of guys, an Englishman and a Scotsman in a bar. Weird. But yeah, it was great. And obviously, as we all know, Matthew Wright is probably the king of trailers. But it's an honest trailer as well. That's what we wanted to do. We wanted to see the reactions that you are seeing are what you can achieve anywhere. You are going to get those reactions no matter what. So we did the Queen's Nose with the Scottish guys, and then Matt went in and did it again to the same group, and he got the same reaction. So
that's cool.
Parts as well. So they were just still they still didn't get it. So
now one last question on it. I know that it's gone remarkably well. Like, is it close to selling out? Are you going to get more in?
We have limited stock. If it sells out within the next 2 weeks, then we will re-release with probably extra coins. But we need it to be popular. That's what it is. And I know a lot of people are. I'm waiting for the extra cards to come out, and I'm just thinking, well, if you've never used it, why would you want the extra cards? I don't understand it. If you've purchased it and you said, you know, this is great, I'm getting so many great reactions, but if I could have another couple of cards on the back of the coins, this is going to be in my set for years and years to come. But if you haven't bought it, but you're demanding I want extra cards, you're not. Do you really want it, or you just, you know, being a typical person who just says, oh yeah, but I want this before I'll go and perform it? And it's just like, well, you're not going to perform it then. Like, I feel in my eyes.
I agree. I completely agree with you. Totally 100%.
Yeah,
and where can people get it from directly? Because I know it's in Murphy's, so it's more good magic dealers, but it's nice to support the creators of the product. Where can people go and get it directly from you?
Webersecrets.store. Sorry, Paul Martin, hold on to it. So I'll just tell him to go away.
Yeah, he's not important.
I've just cut off Paul Martin. Banished from hosting ever again. Webersecrets.store. We're the only suppliers of the giveaways. We didn't do that for anybody else. We're the only people who do the giveaways. But also what we are doing now, I don't know how we can get it linked up with Murphy's or how it does for the uploads, but we're now giving away the JPEGs of the invites. So, and photographs that you can have it. If you want it, you know, you can just fold that invite up and stick it in the bag or whatever, but you can print it at home and just do it yourself. So it's just something a little bit, we thought, well, you know, it's not there anymore, but you know, you can have that, and it's, you know, it will be something a little bit extra. Because I know one person turned around and says, oh, I want to print it on a different piece of paper. And they said, can you send me the JPEG? And I said, yeah, no problem. There you go. Off you go. So they can make it their own little story, etc. Seeing lots of different handlings of how people do it. Kev Mark, brilliant little thing on Magicians Only. He put up a little video of his handling of the bag, you know, just that it's in there, but then, it's just great little handling for it. So yeah, it was
that's awesome.
Nice that people are instantly going, this routine is so adaptable to the performer. That's the whole thing. It's just, you know, for me, it was just simple magic for me. but I could perform it however I wanted it. So
exactly.
Yeah, take it as long as I wanted it, or make it as quick as possible.
And before you go, and I bring this back into the studio to review it, I know that you can't say too much, but can you give us a sneak peek of what's coming next? Because I know you've got a couple of things coming up, both of which are exciting, one of which is probably one of the most exciting things I've seen or heard of in magic for a long time. And I'm not just saying that. Because of the channel, I get to see everything that's coming out in the next 12 to 18 months. I'm like aware of everything before it comes out. And this thing that you've talked to me about, I don't throw the term game changer around lightly, but it is a game changer.
Yeah, well, it's I would kind of say, but you can't see because it's there's a stack of them there.
Yeah,
it's a wallet of some sorts. But I'm going to say this. I will say this. It's not an everyday wallet. So I'll get that out there now. So if anybody ever wants to go backwards and say, oh, he said it was this, because it's not an everyday wallet. It is just for what I would use it for myself, what I have used it for myself. But it's in plain sight. But you don't have to get rid of it. You can leave it there, and you can just leave it there forever and not worry about it. So, because I've got a really, really, really bad memory. I'm really rubbish at it. You know, it's you know, some days you can remember that person's name throughout the whole show, and you use it and you do it all over that kind of stuff. And then sometimes then you just like,
yeah,
you are again. You know, it's just one of those things. You know, you get that little mental block, and I always find, and I'm not a mentalist. I don't try and do it. I try and make it as fun as possible. But I forget what they've done because I'm thinking on my head as well. I'm not, especially when I was doing bar magic, you were constantly thinking on your head. I wasn't as scripted as more because more people were coming in, you were chatting, you were more trade showing, you know, with everybody. So I would forget. So I would always want something that I could have a look at instead of like looking at something and then getting rid of it. You know, I never really got that either. Just like, well, why did you take it out then? Well, you know, now you're putting it back, now you're getting it back out again. It can just stay there in plain sight. And the other couple of ideas that I'm doing, I'm a bit of an engineer ahead. That I've now got 3D printers. I've got about 4 3D printers, all printing little different things and ideas. I'm on a CAD software designing stuff and redoing stuff, and I've got wires everywhere. And I think I spoke to Lloyd Barnes a couple of weeks ago, and he goes, show me your desk. And I showed him my desk, and he went, you're the same. He's just got like scissors, and he's got this, that, you know, glue everywhere. And I'm kind of doing the same, but I'm just constantly doing lots of different things. You know, I feel it's a great idea. It's something that I use all the time, but I've adapted it a little bit more that it can be used, you know, for other people. So, and that's what I'm doing. And I'm not going to release it until it's absolutely ready. That I'm happy with, and I've passed it on to a few people that have said, yeah, we're definitely there. So,
and that's what makes the difference between you and a lot of other creators. You don't rush stuff to market,
no.
Because you've made a name for yourself as a performer. You want to make sure that everything that you bring out is something that's going to absolutely, all the kinks are being worked out, as opposed to a brain fart that someone's decided to film on their phone overnight. Yeah. And that's what I love about you, Mark, that, you know, you have that integrity, and it's amazing to see. It really is.
Obviously, I'm going to get a lot of people saying, well, it's not great. Well, that's fine. You know, I can't, you know, we're not there to please everybody, you know, this kind of stuff. But, you know, if I get my money back, you know, I'm making it all, I'll be happy, you know, that kind of thing. That's what I'm looking for. But, you know, but it's something that I always think, and I always say this to all my magicians as well, is that you should focus more on the performance side instead of the trick. Yes, you have to know the trick and you have to know it back to front, but you should be able to do it that you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
And if you worry about that trick and you're doing it worries you, then find something else so you can feel comfortable doing it. I used to say this to all the magicians that work behind the magic bar was, oh no, I'm really scared. Do your best drunk trick. Do your best when you're drunk, the trick that you do that you never fail on. He goes, oh, okay. And that's where I feel that a lot of magicians get worried about, like, oh no, I did that move wrong. I did this too. Oh, you know, because I was thinking, and I got that wrong, and I moved that card to there. That kind of stuff. Goes, you know, just try and make it sure that it works for you, that you could do it drunk. That's it, really. Yeah. So yeah, as long as you can do it drunk, then yeah, that's the routines you should do. That's me.
That's perfect. That's perfect. And just one more reason why you should win the Masculine Award for the Magic Circle this year. I'm putting it out there right now. Everybody should vote for Mark Bennett.
Oh, thank you very much.
I'm saying it. I'm starting a campaign. I'm going to make a hashtag, Masculine Bennett, or something like that. I'm going to make it happen. We're going to make it happen. Wow, you deserve it, man. You really do.
That's very touching. Thank you. That's really appreciated. Thank you, Craig.
Mark, thank you so much. I'm going to bring this back into the studio now. I'm going to do a full review. But like I said before, thank you. I can't wait to see the stuff that you got coming out in the future. Everybody, go get the Queen's Nose. It's brilliant. It's absolutely amazing. And yeah, I'll put a link down below where you can get it directly from Mark to support the creators. But one more time, Mark, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me, buddy. Appreciate it. Thank you. See you Saturday.
See you, my friend. Huh? You see Saturday? Yeah, I'm with you on Saturday. I'm excited. Get to go back to smoke again.
So once again, thank you very much, Mr. Mark Bennett, for coming onto the channel and doing that interview with me. I really appreciate it. And like I said, it's time for the review. I am going to be 100% honest. So what is the Queen's Nose? Well, basically, it is a commercial close-up trick. It got brought out around about the Jubilee, but it's something that you could do all year round. It's not just a trick that you do for the Jubilee. It's something that will work all year round. And the tutorial that comes with this trick is really good. And the reason it's really good is because you've got Mark Bennett and Matthew Wright sitting down and basically breaking everything down about this trick. So they go through everything with a fine-tooth comb. It's interesting to see Matthew's approach to this instead of Mark's, because Mark is kind of a little bit like me. He goes for the most direct approach, while Matthew's got a few different ideas. The basic effect, in essence, is that you talk about you show a coin, an Old English penny, and you have them examine it. And then you talk about the Queen's nose and the legend of the Queen's nose. And the first part of the trick is you have somebody pick a card, you take an indifferent card, you put it into someone's hand, you put the Queen's nose on top of it, you get them to rub the nose on the coin, and when they turn the card over, it's changed into their card. Really nice. You then say that you're going to do it again, so you have them pick another card, you put an indifferent card in their hand, they rub the Queen's nose again, the card doesn't change, but that's because they look at the coin, and when they look at the coin, they see that the coin, the Britannia side of the coin, has now changed, and Britannia, instead of holding a shield, is now holding the card that the person picked. I have performed this several times now in the real world. It gets crazy good reactions. You're going to see a performance in a minute to Matt in my office, so you can see exactly what it looks like. And then when I've done the performance, I'll talk about kind of what you get in the kit, all the different versions. But I'm going to tell you right now, I do like this. I really, really like this. And we'll talk about why. But first of all, let's have a look at a performance. I'm here with Matt. How you doing, Matt?
What, dude?
We've just had something interesting going on recently. You know what that is, don't you?
Yeah, it was really busy here.
Jubilee.
Yeah.
It was very busy. That's probably why you hated it. Lots of people waving flags, putting crowns on, celebrating the Queen. What did you do?
I rode my motorbike for a couple of days.
Come on, tell the truth, Matt.
Was there a flag on the motorbike?
No.
Okay, fair enough. Well, we're going to do something to do with the Queen.
By the time we got to a Jubilee, I was absolutely sick of it.
Same to all those customers.
Yeah.
Yes, we're available. Or more importantly, no, they're not.
No, we're not.
Well, I've got a deck of cards here. They're kind of an age deck of cards, as if they were kind of used back when the Queen was
really
coronated.
cool.
They're beautiful cards. As well as that, I have this. Now, this looks like a post box. It's not a post box. It's a little bag, but inside there is something very, very interesting. We have an Old English penny. Have a look at that.
Oh, wow. That's
Isn't that
quite
beautiful?
cool.
Nice.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
It's an Old English penny. Now, if you look at the date, it's 1952, which is when the Queen was coronated.
And your birthday.
And my birthday. Yeah, don't tell anyone, though. I'm trying to keep it a secret. Now, do you know what's on the other side of that?
The Queen.
No, on the other side. The side of
That?
Yeah.
It's like Britannia.
Britannia, exactly. Who's apparently meant to look after the Queen and protect the Queen and everything.
Oh, was that their job?
But you probably don't realise this, but there's a legend called the Queen's Nose. Have you ever heard of the legend of the Queen's Nose?
No.
Okay, well, I'm going to tell you about the legend of the Queen's
serve.
Nose. Before I do anything, we're going to take a picture of you. So I want you to hold that coin just like that. Very good. And I have my phone, so we're going to get it all arty here. I want a really nice expression. Beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. Right, so we're going to get back to that. First of all, you're going to grab a card. You can take any card you want to. Take
Pick a card, any card.
Anyone?
That one.
Have a look at the card. Don't forget it. Very important you don't
Can I
forget
show
it.
these guys?
Yeah, show them, but just don't show me. You got it?
Yeah.
Put it back there. Thank you kindly. And we're just going to leave it in the middle. And we'll just make sure it's lost with a couple of cuts and a shuffle. Like that. So now I have to try and find the card. But I'm going to find it in a very interesting way. You see, I'm going to find it without finding it. Let me show you what I mean. I'm going to take a card that's not your card. That's not your card, right? That's an indifferent card.
No, that's not
A card that doesn't care.
A card that doesn't care.
Hold your hand out for me. I'm going to put that 5 of spades right there on your hand, and I'm going to put the Queen on top of it. Now,
Okay.
all you have to do, the 5 of spades wasn't your card, no?
No.
All you have to do is tickle the Queen's nose. Just go for it. Tickle the Queen's nose.
What? Like,
Tickle the Queen's nose.
So sent in
Don't act
through.
like you've never done that before. Come
That
on,
was
tickle,
sent in through every day.
tickle the Queen's nose. I love the sound effects. I love the sound effects. What was the name of the card?
it's a 5 of spades or whatever.
No,
oh, my card.
Ace of Hearts.
Ace of hearts.
The Ace of Hearts. Flip it over. Have a look.
What?
Yeah, have a look at the card.
What the fuck?
It's because of the Queen's nose.
Oh, that's a clever little
I'll do it again. I'll do it again. One more time. Look, we'll do it one more time. You're going to pick another card, okay? Do me a favour. Just say stop.
Stop.
Right there. Have a look at that card.
Yeah.
We're going to leave it down in the middle. That fair?
Sure.
Go on. I'll take a different card. 9 of clubs. Hold your hand out for me. Right. 9 of clubs isn't your card, no?
No.
You know the drill now. Tickle the Queen's nose. Now, what was the card this time that you picked?
Oh, what was it?
Queen of Hearts.
Queen of Hearts.
Really? The Queen of Hearts? Flip the card over. Have a look.
What?
Flip the card over. That would have been good. I'm not that good. But here's the thing. No. Seriously. What was your card again?
Queen of Hearts.
Yeah,
The second
I
one.
got it. Yeah.
What do you mean you got it?
It's under the Queen.
What?
It's under the Queen.
I don't understand.
What's he on about?
Well, do you remember what's on the other side of the coin? It was Britannia, right?
Britannia.
Have a look at Britannia.
What the hell?
The fuck? When did that happen?
You know what's really weird though? Do you remember when we took a picture of you holding that coin? Do you remember? And you were staring at the Queen and Britannia. Look at this. Let me show you the picture. Let me just unlock the phone. Have a look at this. Let's look at the last picture I took, which is this one here. And there's your picture. And then
Oh my god! And I saw that. That was the only photo in your camera roll.
yeah. Well, I don't
Well,
have
not the
many,
only
I don't
one,
have-
but
I don't have many pictures of you looking like that, holding a coin.
That's insane.
You know he's going to print that off and hang it on his wall, right?
He's got loads of photos of me, and I don't really want to know what he does with them.
Yeah, you really don't want to know.
That's nuts.
So that's a performance of the Queen's nose to Matt, and as you heard there, Matt absolutely loved this trick, and rightfully so. You know, I'm glad he loved it because it is a really good trick. Now, one thing that I would add there is that thing with the phone where I took a picture of him holding the coin, and then after the routine, I zoomed in on the picture, and the picture had changed as well. The coin in the picture had changed. That's my addition to the routine. I thought I was being very, very clever coming up with that. And then just before I was filming, I read the Magic Cafe and I saw that somebody else has put something in there as well about doing a similar sort of thing. And it's really good. The reason I like that is because they can zoom in on the picture and they can see very, very clearly the Queen on there, the Queen of Hearts, and you can send them that picture as a souvenir, which allows you to have a pre-recorded, a pre-sent, you know, you can either airdrop it or you can put your website URL or something in there as well, or you can do it on Instagram. There's lots of different ways of actually using that. I love the idea of taking a picture of them holding the coin. It's a little bit like a double exposure by a Hassie Wynn style moment or a rainbow card. It has that same sort of effect. But feel free to use that if you want to. The point is the actual trick. So what you saw there is the basic routine. Now, what I love about the tutorial is that there's multiple live performances. I think there's 2 or 3 performances by Matt, and there's 2 or 3 performances by Mark. They've both got a very different performance style. Mark's routines, when Mark performed it, he was sitting down and there was a table and it was more informal. When Matt was doing it, it was more of a walk around situation. He was doing it into the spectator's hands, which is great because it shows how versatile the routine is. And once you understand the concept here, there's lots of different ways you can go with this. Mark was telling me about different people that have already come up with different handlings. On the tutorial, they go through different ways of doing it, like spellbound changes and making the change more visible, which is great. But to be honest, I love the slow delayed change. I love the fact that they feel that they've been holding onto this coin the entire time. You've never touched it at any point. And despite the fact that you've never touched it, that coin has changed. The first phase where the card changes is great. Now, I think that sometimes magicians overlook the card change. They overlook, they kind of go, well, that's a little bit simple, isn't it? It's just a card changing in a hand, which it is, but it's a great lead up to the second effect, which is where the coin becomes engraved with the spectator's card. I mean, it's just a killer moment. And I was speaking to my friend Alex Foden about this, and he said it reminded him a little bit of Keymaster, where it's kind of bigger than the sum of its parts, and you've got that impossible object that just doesn't make sense. Like with Keymaster, you've got this key that they know only had one hole in it, and now the hole's in the stem and it's happened in their hand. With this, it's a very similar thing. They know that this is a normal English penny. They've looked at it, and now when they hold it, it's now engraved with the coin. Absolutely killer. There's different versions of this that you can get. The version I had, it came with a collector's tin, which looks really nice. Not the sort of thing I carry around with me, but it's nice that they've given you this. It came with the little drawstring bag, which I am going to use, because I like actually switching the coin at the beginning as opposed to halfway through like Matt and Mark do, but it's totally up to you. So I love the drawstring bag. It also came with a deck of cards. I used the aged deck of cards, which again are really nice. And the version I got came with like 10 coins. So you got like 10 coins. The coin with the Queen of Hearts on it, you got 10 of them. So you can actually give them out as a souvenir. And refill packs are available. So you can get refill packs of these coins. So if you like the idea of giving them out, it is very, very inexpensive. Yeah, and what else was in the set? You get a little letter that you can open up that say that's part of one of the presentations, which again doesn't fit me, but it's nice they've included it because it will fit some people's presentations. And that's the thing. I think that you're going to stamp your own personality onto this. I think this is something that you're going to do, and different people are going to do it in different ways. Some people will do a visual change. Some people will do a slow motion change. You could even make more of a deal of the card thing. There's so many different ways. If you don't want to have the card change into the card, first phase, you can just go straight into the second phase. There's so many different options that are available to you with this routine, and the fact that there's live performances and everything's been broken down in great detail, it's the perfect product. Now, the only negative, and it's not really a negative, and Mark talked about it in the interview I did with him. Every card is a Queen of Hearts, so even if you get like 10 coins and you get some refill coins, they're all the Queen of Hearts. So if you're performing for a wedding, for example, and you're doing this like 7 or 8 times, everyone's going to end up with a Queen of Hearts, which you might not want, because if you're doing it to a small group of people, or if there's like 30 or 40 people at an event, they're going to be comparing notes afterwards and say, oh, look, I got this, it was a Queen of Hearts. Oh, mine got a Queen of Hearts as well. But to be honest, in that sort of situation, I think this is the sort of trick that you do maybe just for the head table or just for the CEO. It feels special. You're giving them this little souvenir, and it feels special that they're getting this souvenir. It's not something that it's not something that I think you would do an absolute ton. Having said that, if you perform in a restaurant and people don't know each other, it's totally not an issue at all. It's something to be aware of. And as you heard in the interview, if enough people buy the trick, then Mark's going to bring another version out with lots of different reveals on there, which would be amazing. And I do see the point. I have seen comments where people go, I'm going to buy it when there's lots of multiple reveals come out. Well, if you like the trick, just buy it, and just perform it once or perform it twice at one event, and then perform it. It doesn't take up any pocket space. That's the other beautiful thing. You don't need to use the age deck of cards. You can use any deck of cards. There's no setup. There's no gimmicks in the deck at all. There's very minimal sleight of hand. There's only literally the little bag that you need to carry around, and you're good. And the one other thing that I've heard, I don't think it's an issue, but it's worth talking about. It's not just a trick for Jubilee. It's a trick that will work all year round. And also, if you're in a different country, this is something that will probably create even more intrigue. And I know this personally because I use silver dollars in the UK. And when I start off and I say, hey, I'm going to show you something with this. Have you ever seen one of these before? This is a silver dollar. I collect American coins. Have a look at it. Everybody wants to look at that coin. It creates interest. It creates intrigue before I even do anything. If you're in America and you bring out an English penny and you start talking about Britannia and the Queen, and you can talk about the Jubilee that's just happened, I think it'll do the same thing, and it'll create interest and intrigue. So yeah, this is something that I'm definitely going to be carrying around with me. It packs small, it plays big. It fits nicely into my close-up case. I don't think I'm going to use the age deck. I'm not going to use the tin. I'm not going to use the letter, but I'm going to have those coins in that little red bag in there. I can throw it in my pocket and I can do it whenever I want to. And I think people will love it. And I love the idea of doing it and then throwing it up on Instagram and having people, hey, follow me and share it. That'd be amazing. Put it on your story and people will. It's how you build up more followers and more engagement, and that's always good. So there you go. Queen's Nose, Mark Bennett, Matthew Wright. Fantastic product. I'm going to give it 100%. It's very, very commercial. It's highly, highly rated. It's not the latest, cleverest, flashy thing with a gimmick that you've never seen before. It's a solid commercial working routine that's guaranteed to get great reactions. So there you go, guys. That is another review show special in the bag. Thank you once again for joining me here Sunday evening. I hope you enjoy the rest of the videos on Magic TV this week. Don't forget, you want to see more videos like this? All you got to do is like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below. Please subscribe. It really, really helps. And also, if you haven't already done so, please join the NETRIX. Try it out for a month. See what you think. It's www.thenetrix.com. We're now up to over 140 tutorials, and we're adding more every single fortnight. You want to see all the fuss is about? Go join the NETRIX. I will be back again very, very soon. Thank you very much for watching me. My name's Craig from Magic TV.